Okay, today looking at starting my series on the best bases right now. What I do in this series is I find what I think the best bases are and do a bit of a base review as to why they're working. The best base this league, without a doubt, is this base which you can see Vitamin.EZ running from USA Clan. USA Clan, if you want to find them, tend to hover between rank 10 and 20, and this player. Just have a look at how he's going. I think it's currently Thursday in the league, so we're probably 9 days in. And let's see. So in his player profile, you can see he's got 62 wins at champ, but not just champ, but most of them are over 4K. And this base actually peaked at 4,226, I believe. So that's just an amazing performance on a base, which means this is why I picked it as the best base of this league, and certainly one worth looking at as to why it's working so well. So I'll do a bit of a base review, and actually let's see if we can work out what's great about it at the moment. So the first thing in a base review, I've got to have a bit of a guess at where the sort of traps and bombs are. Now, I don't actually have his design, so I'm going to have a bit of a guess at what I would do if I was doing this base. Now, in terms of where he's got spaces for bombs and telses, he's got a lot up front, and he's got 2 at the back and a spot here. So I think in terms of his placement of bombs and telses, he's probably running a heavy bomb defense in the front. Why do I say that? Well, if you look at the splash damage, he's got a lot of splash damage for the mortars spread over the back, so he needs some splash damage defense at the front. He's got the whiz towers here, so unless he's running bombs here, the base is going to be exposed to an attack that uses, say, witches and the like in the front. So he's probably running a whole series, maybe all of his bombs in that section. Given there's so much space there, he must also have his telses there. So if I was to have a guess at his telsa positions, I'd say would be you try and keep them out of range of your infernos, so you can't freeze your telses and infernos at the same time. So it looks like he's running a telsa here. He's probably running a telsa here, a bit wide, and maybe here and here, or here and here. Which means he's got bomb here, 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 and here. So that's sort of my guess at his base. As for where he's got his air bombs, interesting. He's got all of his air defense over here. So he's basically saying, please hit me on this side of the base in terms of air. So I'm guessing his air bombs are set to trigger on this side of the base. It's an interesting idea. Like if you put for example, he could put 2 bombs here with air bombs behind, or could put his air bombs here with the hope that a whole lot of loons will come in here and bunch and will take out, put damage on them early here. So, but let's have a look at the base. Okay, let's guess there's a telsa here, 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 and here, with bombs in these spots, and maybe 2 bombs here, or his air bombs probably here, 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 something like that. So how would the base run? Well, a good sort of element of the design looks like, so because he's got wall around, the troops would bunch. I'm guessing that the people will try and, well, let's have a look at different types of attacks. So if it's ground attack, say they attack from this side, they'll come in, and what they mostly hit early is just a range of ground type defense, but hopefully the bombs will get rid of all the witches and wizards and leave you with a lot of single shot troops like Peckers and Heroes and your golems for the sort of attack on the town hall. So with 4 bombs, he's probably going to clear out most of the small troops, and then undoubtedly he's got skeletons and the like to distract the small troops and the hero while they're under fire from each of the bows and both of the multis. So they're under fairly heavy fire, You take your wizards and witches out here, and you've got fairly heavy fire with your multis and your bows, and a bit of splash damage from the corners for this part of the base. Now he's put his highest hit point non-town hall building, the clan castle, in here. So my guess is if you get to this part of the base, you're under really heavy fire, and then your queen engages, which is going to tend to pull you past the town hall into range of really, really heavy fire. So the strategy is to clear the witches and wizards around this part, delay them a bit while they fight the CC, and then in this part, make them hit a really heavy building under very heavy fire of both multis, probably your skeletons, and have your queen, which will engage around about, let's have a look, the queen will engage around about here, and then that will draw them through, and before they hit the town hall, they'll be under really heavy fire trying to get to and kill the queen. So on this side, you can see it's got just a standard sort of wall type defense. What people would probably try and do is bust here and jump to the middle. That probably would work if you say drop the jump here. Likelihood is you get in, but cleverly with the position of the Infernos, you actually are taking both Infernos head on, and from this side you're hitting a bow. You're under fairly heavy fire in this section, so it should do a lot of damage, but you can see probably they can get through to the town hall from this side. But the brilliance is if they don't lure, that's a big if, your CC will engage just as they're under really, really heavy fire with both multis, and that will probably kill them. So if they don't lure, big mistake, they could possibly lose from that side. As for north and south, it's interesting here what he's done with his walls. Because you can see that if you drop the jump here, you're likely to open up this pocket and possibly this pocket at the same time. So the troops might initially wipe those, but then the troops might be drawn sideways before they proceed in on the town hall, unless your queen activates and draws them in. So the likelihood is that they might head to here, or the queen will draw them across the back under fire. So that's sort of the ground defense side of the base. In terms of the air defense, you can see they basically said hit me here. So presumably, just have a look at if loons hit, they would all draw into here and here. So the loons will route fairly wide, and you can see around the Inferno, and the loons will be drawn wide. And some will come in here under the second multi, but a lot will actually be drawn wide. And the loons will route here, so if you've got a range of air bombs, you might be able to blow up the loons that bunch in this section before they sort of move on in. So that's just a brief description of the base. An excellent design, unbelievable the number of defense wins, 62 wins for the season, and I think possibly the highest cup defense player ever with 4,226 at the peak, I believe. So congratulations, Vitamin, on an awesome base. I'm pretty sure this is the player that designed it, but he's a player to watch in the future in terms of base design.